welcome to Air Rifle Testing. So, as you all know, this is my new Snowpeak M60B. My recent video has shown a lot of interest in this particular rifle, I guess for a very good reason. First of all, it's affordable and it's accurate. And of course, it looks very similar to the FX Impact. So today I'm going to talk about some of the mods that I did to this gun. On top of here, I have the Discovery scope, which is the ED 4-20 by 52 millimeter. Is a first focal plane scope. In my last video, I mentioned that this was the first time I actually used the scope, and all my previous scopes are like the second focal plane. And back in the days, I thought, is it necessary to use a first focal plane, given the fact that it was much more expensive. But after I tried it, I didn't mind it because when I zoom into different magnification, my point of aim does not alter. So I just aim exactly where my crosshair is for that particular distance. Zoom it in, zoom it out, doesn't matter. The aim point is still the same. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so I definitely don't mind the first focal plane, especially with this scope. It's very clear. As my last video I've shown. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. The clarity is very clear. All the focus and stuff very good, and yeah, and it's affordable. So what have I done to this Snowpeak? First of all, cosmetic wise, I put some carbon fiber wrap over the tubing and the cheek rests, and of course I add some wrap for the grip. As you can see here, I make it a little bit thicker for my liking. So that's cosmetic wise. And next thing I did was I found a video by this fellow on YouTube. His name is Mike, I believe. So he took the gun apart and he talked about the interior, and then something that I found very intriguing was the trigger mechanism area, where he added a little wire to stop the creeping of the linkage. I will show you and insert a picture somewhere here. And very simple. Basically, I just tied in a little metal wire just to pick up the slack. So that's one. That's internal. And then secondly, I adjusted the trigger. So initially, it was really long for the trigger pull. So again, that is very easy to do. You just have to take a gun apart and then adjust it to my liking. So now it breaks very nicely. Thirdly, everybody was asking me from my last video, they were asking me about this bipod extension rail. Where did I get it? Well, I searched online, and the only thing that I found was the Sabre Tactical. It's fairly robust. Obviously, they're good built, but they're expensive, in my opinion. I didn't want to spend that kind of money, so I fabricated my own. So essentially, I searched online and I found this what they call it. It's a 230 millimeter long rail mount dovetail slot. So you can find that on Amazon, 18 bucks Canadian. Again, it's a 230 millimeter long, so you can see here, and it's all dovetail. And I found a connector which I could use. It's called a slink mount plate for 20 millimeter Picatinny Viva rail. Make sure you get that one. I bought two of these mount, and then one of this rail, obviously. So basically, I attach it to the bottom here. Oh, another thing is, while I'm at it, this is my new 3D printed mount for my Sideshot. This scope is 34 millimeter. So again, I was able to go online and then found a free program for 3D designing, and obviously I have to learn how to do it, how to do basic design. And then I was using my old rail for my 30 millimeter scope. So I basically copied the dimension or the shape, the style, the design, and then I adjust my dimension to fit the 30 millimeter scope. It turned out right. Designed the first time and it works flawlessly. minor sanding here and there, but it works perfect, and that's why I was able to do my video, scope cam video on previously. So that works out really good. Here there's a little separator. It's just a washer, a plastic rubber washer, because there was a gap between the rail and the tube. It mounted here pretty good, but it's still a little bit because of the weight of the gun, so it presses down slightly. So it's not putting a lot of pressure to the connection here, which is great because of this mount. It's pretty strong. So like I said, I have to do some modification, obviously, because these are not meant to go together. It's just something that I thought of and I came up with, so I'm pretty happy with that, and I save a lot of money instead of buying a new. So you gotta take the screw out completely, and then you can slide it off, because otherwise it won't fit. So that's one thing. Here it is. You got the rail, which is 230mm long. There are 22 slots. That's the longest one that I could find online. And you can see there's a bracket, the sling mount right there. Two of them. The reason I put two, you only need one. The reason I put two was because I designed it in such that I can slide my, my FX Crony. Again, this is something that I designed back in the days. I basically used the same idea. So I'm gonna probably 3D print this later on when I get a chance. Right now I'm just using some wood and basically like a T-shape, and that's what slide in here, like so. And then this will just it's like this. Fit it under this like this. That way the gun is, while it's sitting on the gun, I can read my velocity without moving my gun and then try to line it up. Now this is lined up every time, so I get every shot measured. So that's pretty convenient. That's why I had the second mount on the front there. So I can't take this out because I already glue it. Essentially what I did was this bracket here, this slot, I took one, basically the end piece off. I grinded it off, and then I fit it really as tight as I could. So basically grind off the last slot, and then I tap it in, and then it's so strong because I only add a little bit of glue. You don't need to, but I did it just so that I know it's gonna hold. And when you put the screw in and then you tighten it, that's actually clamp down the rail onto the gun piccadilly. So so here this piece here, basically that's just like a rubber spacer. You can use anything there, but I thought I used the rubber, and then I just glue it down. That way it's not moving. And then the front one, it's just a rail. You just clip it on for my Crony anyway. So very simple to do. I'll put some picture insert of the process, what I did, basically grinding it off and all that stuff. Yeah, this cost me like, the rail was 18 bucks, and the mount I think was like 8 bucks or something, so 16 bucks. So here, that's all it is. Cheap and very easy to do, and it looks really good because it's streamlined. It's not, doesn't add too much weight to my gun, which I like. And on my impact, I had the Aku rail, Saber Tactical, expensive, but you know, for an expensive gun, right? So anyway, between these two guns, they look very similar again in my last video comparison. The only main difference was the price. Accuracy wise, I think, I mean, once you get the right tune and the right projectile for any gun, it could be very accurate. In this case, my Snowpeak M60B, it really likes the 17.5 grain slug from NSA. That was really good, and the 50 yards, it beat my impact. So obviously I'm going to give them a rematch so that my impact hopefully can claim throne. And Yeah, for sure. And then of course, last time I didn't finish my 100 yards test. It was really windy day. So, but in all fairness, the M60B beat my impact at 50 yards in terms of accuracy on paper. Spinner target pretty comparable. At 75 yards, the impact actually came up on top with the spinner anyway, because I was using 25 grain slugs, the H&N. So that hole bucks the wind a bit better than my 17.5 grain NSA. Because it was really strong wind that day, so it was pushing it left to right more. But if I can imagine, if it's on a calm, no wind, or even inside, let's say, with no wind factor involved, and if I were to shoot this 2-gun, I still think the Snowpeak with the current setup and the slug, it might be winning 50, 75, maybe even 100 yards. I don't know. Would be nice to do that kind of test and comparison, but I know my impact is very reliable, consistent, and accurate. Like I said, it's just that day when I did the test, it didn't perform well, which is okay because it gives me something to work on. I probably have to retune slightly, make some adjustment to my hammer spring perhaps, just to get the speed up or down, because it is cold, and with the temperature being cold, it does affect your trajectory of your projectile, which I found earlier the winter month, because my gun was tuned to the summertime on the hot weather and very accurate, and then when the weather dropped, my point of impact dropped, and then the velocity and everything dropped, so I have to make some adjustment. So I'm sure later on in the springtime I'll definitely give them another test again, and then see. But so far, this M60B thing, if you're looking for an affordable and accurate PCP, look this up. I don't think it was disappointed, because I'm surely didn't. I was pleasantly surprised how accurate this thing shoots, and it looks just like I said. It looks just like an impact. In my test anyway, this gun was accurate as long as I find the right projectile for it, and with the right tune in terms of reg pressure and hammer spring. Granted, I haven't done any tuning to this gun yet. It wasn't required, because it just with the factory setting, and I think it's like 140 bar hammer spring. I haven't even touched it yet. So with that, I was able to shoot these NSA slugs really accurately. And in fact, when I first shooting this gun, I was shooting the Hades 16 grain for my rat shoot, and so that was the first time I took this gun out to actually hunt, not hunt, but pest control, and it did really well with the Hades 16 grain. And then I tried the Barracuda, which is the H&N 16 grain, and it shot really well in the wind. I just have to tighten this. So that was really good, and then until you know, I tried the NSA, and that was it. So
Three, 4, 5.
And it found its favorite ammo. So anyway, so you just tighten up the screw. Like I said, you have to slide in and then insert the screw, and then tighten it. Once that's in, this thing is solid. Like I said, it has a little bit of give. That's why I put that little stopper there, just to take up the slack. So yeah, so that was my a few of my mods that I did for this gun. Hopefully you can do it the same thing if you're looking to save some money. But I think for this rail anyway, I think it looks really good. It's very streamlined, easy to do. Like I said, probably cost you like less than $50. or less, because if you're not doing the FX Crony mount modification like I am doing, then you only need to buy one of this string mount, so that's even cheaper. So anyway, thanks for watching. So hopefully when the weather get better, I can take this gun out and shoot some starlings. So stay tuned. Cheers.